So today I thought it'd be fun to try out these watercolors. They're the Mei Liang watercolors. I got them off Amazon because they were on sale for almost like 40% off their normal price, and I've been kind of eyeing them just because of in the past when I've seen other creators use them, and they have a nice little case. So they come in this box, and then when you open up that box you get this tin, which is part of the selling point for this. They come with their own nice tin, like this is metal, if you can hear that, and then has the little parrot on the outside. And then when you open this, it has its own tray that should be easy to wipe out just because it is metal on the inside too. Let's see, there's some instructions that I can't read because they're in Japanese, I think. But it still shows the colors you have on this little paper. And it looks like it does have the English translation underneath for each color. So that part is translated. Oh, it comes with its own swatch paper. Guess we'll be using this to try it out and match up the, oh, it's glittery. It's a glittery paper. I don't know if it's not really catching it on camera, but it's got a shimmer to this cardstock paper. So we have a swatch paper already that we just have to match up our colors to because they're numbered. So then it has this over top to keep all these nice in their tray. The tray itself is just, it seems like a plasticky tray inside. This part isn't metal that all of these trays are sitting in. Looks like we have to individually unwrap them like this sticker. And they just come in these little tray cups. So I'm gonna have to individually unwrap all of these. And they do have the number and corresponding color for our color sheet over here. So I think what I'm going to do is do swatches, but I'm gonna have to individually open them so I can keep track of what color I'm doing. This is a water brush, it looks like. It comes with its own water brush. And what these are, if you don't know, is this part right here is kind of squishy, but you fill, yeah, so it untwists from the brush like this, and you fill this end with water and then put it back together with water in it. This has a nice corkscrew type. There we go. And then when you have water in here, then you just smush this part and it'll move the water into the brush part. So you can kind of take it on the go if you want to. These are very difficult to use to manage how much water you're putting on the brush because you kind of have less control, even though you get to squish basically how much you want. It's still kind of hard to judge how much you're putting in your brush versus dipping the brush in water and stuff like that. So if you're new to watercolor, these do take practice, and I'm still practicing with them, so just be aware. But yeah, so gonna go ahead and open these individually and do the swatching. Okay, so I finished all the swatches, and I actually, because the stickers were so cute on each of the little things, I decided to stick them all to the front and side cover of my watercolor sketchbook, just because they were cute. They have a little parrot on them, and I thought it was a fun effect with the rainbow colors. But I think I'm going to test these out in action and do another page in my sketchbook. And I had, like, there's a wide selection of colors with just this palette, and you can definitely like mix them to get different ranges of color. So right away I'm already impressed by the amount of different colors. The one thing that I found, especially while putting each of these back in their spot that they're supposed to be, because this tray underneath is just like very thin plastic, even cardboard would probably be more supportive than what they have in here. That was a little hard, and it's see how some of them like kind of puff out. Well, I guess you maybe can't see. Some of them, trying to tip it without actually tipping them out, like they don't line up exactly because this plastic in there is so flexible. That's, I think, the only downside to how this palette turns out, which you could technically take out this whole thing and just glue or like not use it, and glue them in, or something else, but then you wouldn't be able to individually like take out these little cups, these plastic cups, and put in a different color if you like run out of it or run low on it, because you can buy these little plastic individual cups to like put in your own colors, like with the getting one to show you, like with these tubes. If you buy the individual empty ones, you can squeeze the tube in there and have this color dried, and then it'll activate again with water because it's watercolor. But so that would be the only downside to if you choose to glue them into the palette, which I don't even know how you do that unless you glue them into and press them into this plastic. Like you'd have to keep the plastic in there probably. I don't know. That's up to you. I think I'm gonna keep them separated though, so I can switch them out once they get low with a similar color or a different color if I don't have the similar color. I'm not sure if they sell this brand in tubes. That would be nice. Maybe I can look that up and put a little note if they do or don't in editing, because that would also be helpful, because you'd be getting the numbers that correspond with their colors, so you could replace once you ran out, like I was saying before, where you can put your own tube colors in there, but they're going to be different based on the brand, so you might want the same brand. So I'll look that up for you and put that post-edit if that's a thing or not. But I am going to go ahead and jump into doing a new page in my watercolor sketchbook with these new colors of watercolor, and just adding some music along with it, unless I want to cut in with something I noticed while painting. Then I'll maybe sneak in with a little comment or two, but otherwise I'm just gonna get to painting. Okay, so I'm cutting in here to say one thing I have noticed by this second painting is looking at the swatches of the color I kind of would like to mix or use. Like the middle, like it's hard to match up. Like the middle row, you can kind of tilt it sideways like this and get the colors. Hold on, let me move my camera up. There, so I can explain better. So, if you look at the palette that you have, and then you look at the swatches that they turn into, it's hard to differentiate what color you're gonna get based on the dried paint and mixed with water. So the middle row you can kind of match up, but then the top and bottom rows you can't really flip it to make it like correct unless you like cut up this little palette, because it starts opposite. So like the greens, that's the greens, and then this side is the brown. So that's just one thing I noticed, that if you're gonna use the provided swatch paper, it's a little hard to follow like what colors you want to use based on this, and then matching them to the actual paint palette, paints set, unless I guess you do your own and try to match it better when you're, or preemptively choose the colors and mix the colors and then maybe pull those out if you're only going to use a certain color palette, kind of like what I decided to do, where I did blues, purples, and pinks for this kind of seascape, sunset, dusk colors, and then here I'm trying to use the greens, browns, and yellows. So you could technically pull those colors out or rearrange them based on what colors you wanted for that painting, I guess. But that's just a note that I came across as I was doing these in my sketchbook. So let's go ahead and finish this side of the page. So that'll be it for my little trying this review video for these watercolors. I'm just taking the tape off for my separation to get that nice crisp edge for my mini paintings. Let me know if you liked this video, giving it a thumbs up, and also subscribe for more art videos like this. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.